Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Just How I am playing Final Fantasy XIV. Last episode we did even more quests involving the people from the place. Yes. No, involving the people from the Firmament, and today we're going to, well, do even more of that. Guess why not? Are you ready to take to the road again then? Our final destination awaits us, Limsa. If you must. But if you truly expect to find a reliable trading partner in that den of pirates and ruffians, you are more of a fool than I thought. Believe me, Lord Charlemagne, when I say that I bear no love for barbarous outlaws. That said, by all accounts, things have changed much in the years since Admiral Bufferswin rose to power. I have spoken of my son's disappearance to you in the past, have I not? If by chance you have forgotten, it was those accursed pirates who took him from me, and for that I will never forgive them. It was 20 long years ago. He was a boy of great promise, possessed a curious mind and a burning desire to see the world. Then a murderous band of sea reavers raided his vessel, and just like that, he was gone. To this day, the rumor reached my ears. That he rots in a jail deep beneath the city, or that someone resembling him has been seen wandering the streets as his father. I want to believe he still lives somewhere, but there's only so long a man can... What I mean to say is, I would not trust a pirate half as far as I could throw him. They are the scourge of our realm and my house, and I will have nothing to do with them. You have my most heartfelt sympathies for the loss of your son, Lord Charlemagne. By no means do I wish to open old wounds and stir up painful memories. Pray return to Ishgard ahead of us. Lid and I shall handle matters from here. No, I will accompany you. Regardless of what happened, nay, precisely because of it, I will not shirk my duty of Lord of House Durandare. I will march into that wretched hive of murder and villainy and seize from it a new age of prosperity for my house as due retribution for all they have taken from me. If it is what you wish, my lord, then let us be on our way. My preliminary research has led me to conclude that the area known as Bulwark Hall, a stone's throw from the airship landing, would make for a suitable place to commence our efforts. Alright. Chuladosh. Oh. Look at all these quests, like this one, which I will ignore until somewhere around the end of the game, probably. Fury, take me. How can all these people abide that god-awful stench of salt and brine in the air? Let us conclude our business swiftly and take our leave of this place, Lord Francel. I trust that your research has enlightened us as to where we might find a suitable trading partner. Indeed it has, Lord Charlemagne. I have read that all goods incoming and outgoing must pass inspection at a place called Melvan's Gate. Or Melvan's Gate. Melvan's Gate? No doubt that would be a productive place to begin our inquiry. I see. Very well. Let us be off to Melvan Gate, or whatever the place was called. Perhaps it is but wishful thinking on my part, but would you not say that Lord Charlemagne has softened some since we arrived in Limsa? Why, he even waited for me to complete a full utterance before dashing off. Could it be that we have earned his trust? You are employed here, yes? My companions and I hail from Ishgard, and we have come to Limsa to discuss matters of trade. And you've most definitely come to the right place. Any inquiries you may have regarding duties, tariffs, prohibited goods, and what have you. I or one of my fellow assessors would be more than happy to enlighten you. No, I see. We precisely seek to introduce wares from our nation from your nation to our own homeland. I believe such items would be in demand. Might you be able to recommend to us a trader willing dealing in such wares? Aye, but of course, why didn't you say so sooner, my good man? In that case, you'll be wanting to talk to one of the three great pirate powers here in town. But pirates? Aye, of course, since the signing of the Galadian Accord, they're more of an officially sanctioned agency raiding the Guardians at the Admiral's behest, taking part in honest trade and the like. At least that much can be said of the Sanguine Sirens and the Krakens. The bloody executioners are a whole nother matter, so I'd recommend you limit any dealings and negotiations you feel like partaking into the former two. I reckon the Sanguine Sirens would be as good a start as any, as they are known to be a bit more welcome to outsiders like yourself. You'll find them over in a tavern known as the Missing Member, if you're up for a parlay. Yes, I do believe I've heard enough. Thank you for your time and good day. I can scarce believe it has come to this, but I suppose we have no recourse. Well, Lord Francel, I trust you know the way to this Missing Member. There we go, back to the Missing Member. Everyone is here, yes? Let us be on our way. What a fury, why it's a veritable haven of pirate wenches. I will not back down from this challenge. Watch closely, Lord Francel, and let me show you how a deal is made. Greetings and welcome to the Missing Member. Do you have a reservation, sir? I do not. I have come from Ishgard to discuss matters of trade with the captain of the esteemed Sanguine Sirens, and I was told I might find her here. You were you? Why, yes, I suppose you might. Make yourself comfortable, and I'll go let the captain know that she's got a new visitor. Those you want, Drylanders. State your business quick, and you'd best hope it's worth my while, else my sirens will only see you gutter than sleeping with the fishes before you know what cuffed you. Pray stay your hand, my lady. I meant only to consult with you on potential business proposition that might prove mutually beneficial. I hail from the nation of Ishgard, and I do believe that your fine wares would be most highly sought after in our nation. Ishgard, you must be daft to think any pirate in a right mind would have even half a mind to set one foot in some bleeding snow-soaked wasteland at the edge of the world. You must have me confused with that puffy shirt captain of the Krakens or someone else who's got more swag and sense. Now get out of my sight before I cut out your blabbing tongue and toss it into tonight's stew. 1,000 pardons, my lady. I shall take my leave anon and seek out these Krakens of whom you speak. I thank you for your kindness and wish you and your sirens all the... I said get out of my... Wait a minute. Why does that self-righteous face of yours seem so bloody familiar? Ah, never mind. I've got bigger fish to get. Now be gone from here, or you'll be joining him. How are you? I'd be taking her advice to heart. You'll find the Krakens at the 7th stage, just past here, and beyond the drowning bench. Do hope your parlay proves more fruitful. I have already put the pieces together. This is going to be an interesting encounter. Welcome to the 7th stage. Would you care to peruse our diverse array of exotic herbs and spices? Pardon me, my good lady. I am a Charlemagne of House Durinder, and I have travelled to your fair nation from Ishgard. Might you or any of your colleagues perchance be interested in selling your finest spices in my homeland? I can assure you some of my countrymen would be willing to pay a handsome price for them. The Durinder, did you say? My sincere apologies, good sir, but in accordance with a company policy, we are not entering into partnerships with parties from the Holy See at this time. No parties from the Holy See? What insular, close-minded nonsense is... what I mean to say is, we are prepared to make the arrangements most appetizing to you. As appetizing as salted harbour herring, one might say. To which our astrologians have devised a method to accurately gauge one's present location and bearing regardless of the season, a technique which I do believe would be most beneficial to esteemed privateers such as yourself. The thing the old man would be willing to reveal a treasured house secret to outsiders. Dastardly, despicable pirates, no less. Perhaps there's hope for Ishgard yet. Pray excuse me for a moment. Captain, why yes, we're not. I was just about to bid our guests farewell, as per your explicit orders not to... Oh, what's that? Are you certain? I see. I'll convey the message then. Forgive me for my hasty decision. The captain says he will entertain your proposition, but on one condition. He will only speak to the adventurer here. I see. In that case, I have little choice. Then, was it? I have done little to deserve your charity, but I would ask you this one favor. Might I entrust the negotiations to you? Very well then, if you would come this way. Captain Carvalane of the Kragans awaits you at the top of the stairs. One more thing. You are by no means to speak his name, nor describe his face to anyone from Ishgard, or he will personally have you keel-hauled. No hard feelings, of course. My associate has apprised me of the situation. So, this delegation from the sea wishes to establish trade relations with us, do they? These guardians consumed only with their petty war, living out their days in that gloomy, frigid land devoid of passion or imagination. Just thinking back to my dreary days in that miserable place is enough to make me ill. But with the war's end, it would appear that that a new wind blows in my homeland. Well, I am not so naive as to... I'm not so naive to assume that they have left their past entirely behind. I will trust that the sea's desire to change, as well as that of the man who has come to me on their behalf, is sincere. Besides, it would not hurt to be owed a debt of gratitude by one of Eorzea's greatest heroes now. Gerald, the document. This here is an agreement, consenting to the formal commencement of trade between the Kragans and House Durandare of Ishgard. It is in Gerald's name, and marked with our official seal to authorize the transaction. I would appreciate if you could deliver this to Count Durandare on my behalf. We're quite sure about this, Captain. Let us be thankful for that adventurer showing up when she did. If that man had forced his way to my office, I shudder to think of what might have ensued. It's strange, though. For long years, the mere sight of the man's face filled me with loathing, but seeing it again now, I feel only this odd sense of nostalgia. And yet I dare not entertain the thought of doing anything more. It would only serve to undo all I have accomplished. No, I have no mind to give up my freedom for whatever I might gain in its place. Yes, this will do. Well, do you have anything to... Well, do you have anything to show for your efforts? Yes, yes. Why, this is more than I dared hope to we would achieve. However did you manage this? Your passionate plea won him over. Chose to believe in Ishgard's future, made him an offer he couldn't refuse. Your passionate plea won him over, sure. You mean he was listening in on our discussion? I'm not quite sure what to say. At any rate, I finally accomplished that which I sought to here in Eorzea, and can finally return to Ishgard in triumph, as befitting the Lord of the Higher Houses, or the highest of houses. I'm in your debt, Lord Charlemagne, and you, Lyn. With this, the day that the finest goods from the realm over are traded freely on the markets of the Featherfall is all but upon us. Lyn, Lord Charlemagne, I must thank you once more for accompanying me on this journey. Owing to your tireless efforts, our mission has succeeded beyond my loftiest expectations. And do you expect any less of me? At any rate, I do believe it is past time that we returned home. There are preparations that must be seen to, yes? But of course, speaking of which, I have been giving considerable thought as to how we might best organize our new commercial district. To that end, I would be most grateful if the two of you would visit the location and share your thoughts upon our return. My time is valuable, as you might imagine, but I suppose I can spare a moment or two to lend my expertise. It is most appreciated, my lord. In that case, let us each attend to any unresolved matters we may have here, then reconvene back at the Firmament at our earliest opportunity. Travel in safety, my friends. Back to the Firmament. Firmament. There's but a short walk from here to the ffXIV commercial district. Allow me to show the way. I must give credit where credit is due, Lord Francel. This place is almost beginning to look halfway habitable. Francel, we were wondering if you'd ever come home. My brothers and you too, sister. How wonderful it is to see you all again. Oh, but you simply must hear the news. Orvalen von Crino apprised us just now. Why, if even half of what we have heard is true, it would appear your excursion abroad has proved most fruitful. And this off the back of the diadem's designation as an official gathering ground to the restoration. Without you to extol its potential to our leaders, I doubt we would have received the necessary approvals and funding. I'm having hiccups, I hate it. You do Ishgard a great service, Francel. As your sister, I could not be more proud. My dear siblings, you flatter me overmuch. Why, I could not have hoped to accomplish even a fraction of this without the expertise and influence of my esteemed companions. Of that I have no doubt, Mrs. Adair, as you so selflessly served Ishgard during the war, you continue to go above and beyond in this era of peace. I have not the words to express my gratitude. And my most honourable Lord Charlemagne, pray accept my humble gratitude for accompanying my impulsive little brother in his travels, and for opening his horizons with your vast experience and worldly wisdom. Yes, I can only hope the boy gained something from my presence. But Francel, we are not here to simply shower you with praise. No, we were hoping that we might lend aid to your efforts in a more tangible fashion. Indeed, after all, it would not do for the goods to flow in only one direction, while the coin flows in the other now. Allow me to be more direct. The Sky Steel Manufactory has recently opened a new branch in ffXIV, I guess. I have a mind to spend some time there myself, overseeing repairs and maintenance orders, putting wares on display for potential sale to buyers from their well over, and so on and so forth. Meanwhile, Arvael and I have discussed the matter at length, and we suspect that traders from far off lands might show quite an interest in the abundant natural resources harvested from the Diadem and the Sea of Clouds. I have no words. Your assistance in the reconstruction efforts would mean the world to me. Sons and daughters of House Heronard. Mayhap I misjudged them. Mocked and branded as heretics by the highborn and the common folk alike, forced to suffer the loss of kin, friends, and loyal followers alike for years of bloody war. Still, they forge ahead to build a brighter future for our nation. For so long I thought them too earnest and agreeable for their own good, but perhaps that artless hope and enthusiasm is precisely what Ishgard needs in this new age. Would that my own son could be here now, that he too could be among those leading the efforts to transform our society for the generations to come. Strange, is it not? Somehow I am more certain than ever that he is alive somewhere in this world, and doing great things in his own right. Mayhap one day he will return to me, and mayhap not. Either way, the decision is his, and his alone to make. so long I clung to the past, fearing that there was no place for me in this new age of openness, enlightenment, and change. But the truth is clear to me now. This is a world we live in. This is a new world we live in, and we must all adapt or be left behind. It will not be easy, but it will be worth it, and the passionate, capable young men and women around me will show me the way. My sincere apologies then, Lord Charlemagne. It seems my siblings and I got somewhat carried away in conversation. If you're ready, it would be my pleasure to escort you to Featherfall. The one guy who's standing for the old dance stall is freezing. That's pretty good. Then, Lord Charlemagne, over here. Not imagine that your preparations were proceeding so briskly, Lord Francel. One might wonder if they are not proceeding too hastily, yet at the same time one cannot help but be impressed. You are too kind, my lord. I am pleased to say that the Featherfall markets are nigh ready to open. Truly, we could not have accomplished this without you. Nor you, Lyn, nor my dear siblings, my associates, and all in Ishgard, and the 3 nations who have expended efforts on our behalf. Without all of you, my loftiest dreams to rebuild the Firmament would have gone for naught. Thank you, my friends. I will not forget your kindness and generosity for the rest of my days. Nay, it is I who owes you thanks, Lord Francel. Traveling with you has done much to open my eyes, and I am too prideful to admit it. If I hope to lead House Durandar into a new age of prosperity, there is much I must yet learn about the world outside Ishgard, a world to which much I have been blind for far too long. In return for helping me to learn this lesson, allow me to offer some parting advice. You have accomplished much here already, but do not rest on your laurels, for the greatest challenges are yet to come. Thank you, my lord. Pray rest assured that I have no intention of shirking my duties. As more and more people flock to the Firmament to hawk their wares and ply their trades, the ability to manage affairs here will be tested like never before. They will indeed, and yet I suspect you are up to the task. Still, should you ever find yourself over your head, do not hesitate to call upon House Durandar. And with that, I shall be off. Then, might you have a moment to spare afterwards? There's a matter on which I would seek your counsel. I too should be getting back to the many tasks at hand. Till we meet again, my friends. Actually, I would not have minded if the lad remained with us a little longer. Oh well. In any event, the matter I would discuss with you concerns the room. If you are not otherwise occupied, I should very much like to hear your thoughts. Okay. Oh my... Internal screaming intensifies. Also... no, okay. No, I was thinking of something. I thank you for entertaining my requests. There is another who I believe would be keen to hear what you have to say. He shall be arriving anon. Lyn, the Count mentioned there was something someone he wished to introduce to me, but not expected to be you. Tell me, how have you fared since last we met? Nod. Mayhap I should have surprised the two of you if we're already acquainted. Then accompanied Lord Francel and I on our trade delegation to the 3 nations, which I dare say would not have been nearly as successful as it was without her insight. Since returning home, I have been pondering many a matter. Long has House Durandar stood at the fore and done its sworn duty to protect our countrymen from heretics and the Horde. But Ishgard now enters a new era. Fucking hell. In these changing times, how must House Durandar adapt to best serve our fair nation? This is the question that most occupies my thoughts of late. As the nation turns its eyes to the outside world, I would once more look within. House Durandar shall see that our nation thrives as never before, and every Ishgardian is able to reap the benefits of peace and prosperity. I'm not sure what to say, my lord. Clearly, your journey has had quite an effect on you. Needless to say, I wholeheartedly agree with your noble aim, and promise to offer whatever aid is in my power to offer. My knights as well are searching for ways in which they might serve the people now that their blades are no longer needed. Should you like for manpower? Manpower, you need but say the word. Very good. Now at first, task them with carrying out some long overdue restorations in the broom, which unfortunately remains in a most sorry state. But it will not suffice to physically rebuild the city. No, for our citizens to truly prosper, we will need a steady flow of goods and services. A healthy economy is the lifeblood of any nation, after all. To that end, I also intend to put Durendare's fleet of airships to use in shuttling materials to and from far-off lands. You rode on one of our vessels yourself when you aided us in reclaiming the Stone Vigil, did you not? You will forever have my gratitude for your efforts that day. In any event, we will have need of pilots and machines, and in far greater numbers than we have now. There are many here who would benefit from learning a trade by which they might earn their keep. We will recruit these individuals and train them to the best of our ability. For this, I would enlist the services of a knowledgeable and patient instructor. Mayhap there is someone you could recommend, Lord Wilmot? Why yes, I do believe I know just the man. He knows our airships inside and out, and has an admirable passion for sharing his craft with those around him. He is battle-tested as well. He was the very pilot who served to help us reclaim the Stone Vigil, after all. His name is Sestavolt, and do not let his youth fool you. He is as knowledgeable and reliable as many men twice his age. That said, there is a rub. I have seen neither height nor hair from him since the war ended. He suffered a wound in his last battle, and I have heard rumors that he has since fallen on hard times. Many such men eke out their living in a broom these days. It's a most unfortunate situation, and one that does not reflect well on our house or our nation. We must do by these brave souls. We must do right by these brave souls, and we must do it now. And so I turn to you, Lynn. Might I task you with seeking out this Sestavolt and relay my offer? I have already drawn up a contract that you might deliver to the man. I would approach the man directly, but our recent foray to the three nations has convinced me that when it comes to negotiating with the common folk, you are far more capable than I. Besides, if I am to bring my plans to fruition, there is another whose aid I must petition, and with all haste. Will you do this favor and speak with Sestavolt in my stead? Blah, blah, blah. Then I too shall return to Whitebrim Front and recruit as many knights as I can for the cause. May be most appreciated, Lord Vermont. And with that, I will take my leave. May your meeting with Sestavolt be a fruitful one. Wait, I need to be over here. I really underestimated the amount of talking. Yes, I'm Sestavolt. Who is asked? By the fury are my knights to be believed? Get a load of this. What's this? Count Charlemagne de Durandare would personally entreat your service as an instructor and mentor to aspiring airship pilots. So right there. Look, you may be the slate of gods, but this is your idea. If this is your idea of a jest, it is true, you say. Then of course I accept. I would be a fool not to. Though why the lord of the highest of houses and a hero such as yourself would turn to a broken-bodied nobody rotting his days away in the broom is beyond my comprehension. Pray allow me to say that it was a true honor to have had you on board my airship in the operation to retake the Stone Vigil. The mere memory of that triumph has carried me through even the darkest of days. At any rate, the letter goes on to state that should I accept the offer, I am to report to the site of the planned training facility, which, according to this, is to be constructed here in the broom, at once. And I do believe I am inclined to do just that. Might I be so bold as to ask you to accompany me? It has been a while since I consorted with nobles, and I fear I might do something to embarrass myself. According to the letter, the site in question is just beyond here, shall we? You must be accessible. On behalf of House Durnder, I thank you for entertaining my offer. Allow me to get right to the matter at hand. As you may know, Lord Francel's efforts to bolster trade with some of the most prestigious merchants from the Three Nations have borne considerable fruit. As such, we have need for capable airship pilots to shuttle supplies to and fro. Lord Relmont has spoken highly of your expertise. I would have you train the next generation of pilots who will steer Ishgard to a brighter future. It is my hope that this will also serve to provide an honest, profitable trade for a number of the unfortunate souls who call this place home. My lord, I do not know what to say. You show great mercy to this battered, broken man and give him a chance to rebuild his life in a way he never imagined. I'm honored and blessed to accept your offer. For as long as I draw breath, I will serve your cause with every ounce of strength and passion that I am able to muster. There's also the matter of securing the funds necessary to operate in the facility, as well as to maintain our fleet. Lord Edmund, I trust I can count on the support of House Fort Thompson in this matter. That is no longer my decision to make, but I will consult with Artwarel and I see no reason why he would not be receptive to your cause. When you arrive at Fort Thompson Manor and said you would speak with me in private, I must admit I had my doubts as to what you had in mind. But I cannot very well turn a blind eye to the unprivileged men and women of our society, can I? Not when the savior of Ishgard stands before me, ready to fight for them. That is why you brought Mr. Adair here, is it not? You may think yourself subtle, Lord Solomon, but I am wise to your ways. After all, it is not the first time you have brought me around to your cause, though this time, at least, I can say it is a noble one. For years, House Durnder and Fort Thompson have struggled for supremacy, but we are not so different, you and I. Is it such a terrible thing that we take advantage of each other from time to time? I think not. Besides, I cannot very well let you live a life of leisurely retirement while I remain on the front lines, fighting for men and women we have been forgotten for far too long. As members of Ishgard's most privileged class, it is our calling to lead a nation into a new era of prosperity and enlightenment, and I, for one, have no intention of shirking this duty. Is there more? There is more. Thanks to your efforts, House Durnder and Fort Thompson have awakened to the plight of Ishgard's poor and suffering, and the restoration of the broom has begun in earnest. Ah. I'm interested to see if, like, at any point the broom is actually gonna, like, be finished and cleaned up. That'd be a cool thing to see. Right, back into the Firmament. For even more quests. I'll be doing the blue ones first, and then I'll clean up the yellow ones afterwards. If you haven't noticed that already. Alright, Francel, what's the next freaking thing? Now, Lint, it's always a pleasure to see you here in the Firmament. I am certain you'll agree that the place is feeling livelier and more cultured than ever, is it not? Surely we could never have hoped to accomplish this without your help without the help of our preeminent sky builder. Truly, I have not the words to express the depths of my gratitude. Recently, I've had occasion to take the briefest of respites from my daily duties and reflect upon the reconstruction effort as a whole. And in doing so, my mind oft returns to Amanalane's words that day. An ever-growing number of his guardians now make their residence in the Firmament, and its markets bustle with customers and exotic wares from across the realm. What more could be needed? The answer was clear. A place where those who live and ply their trade here can leave behind their worries and cares and indulge in the finer pleasures of life. Yes, the newly completed Risen Song Quarter shall be precisely that, and I would like nothing more than for you to be the first to walk its streets with me. If, of course, you have no more pressing commitments at the moment. Splendid. Now let us first make for Sir Vendraw's grace. Okay. I think you too will be keen to lay your eyes on a location which I believe to be the pride of the Firmament. I may as well use an aetherite, because... or the Ethernet. I do hope our presence won't be a bother. Forgive me. The building before us I have dubbed Sir Vendraw's grace. Yes, it is a place where the ailing and injured might see their wounds or maladies tended to. Some of our patients require only the briefest of treatment before they are back on their feet again, while those with more serious conditions might stay in these halls for months. There are even those here suffering from troubling sicknesses not visible to the eye, but our healers do their best to provide succor just the same. The construction of the facility was first proposed by the House of Commons, but the plan was met with immediate and overwhelming approval in the House of Lords as well. How heartening it is to see our nation come together for a worthy cause. Needless to say, be they commoner or noble, in these halls all patients receive the attention and care they deserve. Nor do we turn away any who seek employment here, regardless of their background or station. Beg pardon, my lord, my lady, mind if I trouble you for a moment? I'm but a humble artist, working to capture the reconstruction of the Firmament on canvas for posterity. I saw the two of you here and simply could not walk by without expressing my gratitude. But yes, I do believe I have had the pleasure of looking upon your paintings. You have our thanks as well for your most exquisite... Wait, why does your face look so familiar? You're of a House Chevrodan, are you not? You are gracious indeed, my lord, to remember one of such a humble blood. It is true, I once had the honor of paying my respects to you when introduced by Sir Alphadel at a banquet. And you, of course, then, there's no greater honor than to see you before me. 'Twas always my dream to become an artist, to capture the world around me in all its beauty, all its sadness, on my easel, that future generations may never forget the time we lived in. And yet, in times of war, there was, of course, no time for such lofty pursuits. And so I donned my armor and took up my blade, resigned to the thought that I would one day fall in the unending battle against the Horde. Oh, how my heart sung the day you felt the dread Nidhogg, ushering in a new dawn for our great nation. At long last, I am able to lay down the weapons of war and take up my brush, as I had dreamed of for all those years. Surely it would not be an understatement to say that your heroism inspires every stroke that I paint. Forgive me. Moreover, I am proud to say that my work has been put on display right here in the halls of Sir Vendraw's grace. Not to be overly presumptuous, but I feel there is a role of fine art for fine art to play in bringing succor to the hearts of the suffering. To that end, I have also made an effort to teach my craft to all who would learn. There you are. I was hoping to inquire about the price of your latest masterpiece. Oh, that's an older man. Pray forgive me. Clearly you have more important matters to deal with. I meant not to intrude. No apologies needed, my good man. On the contrary, I have imposed upon my illustrious friends for far too long already. And with that, I shall take my leave. Thank you for giving this humble artist the opportunity to express his appreciation in person. Whenever you see one of my works, know that they would never have been possible were it not for you. Be proud, Lyn. Truly, you have made your mark on our nation and its people in more ways than one. I bumped into my mic. Now, shall we make for the next stop on our little tour? To Snowsoak. With Snowsoak Springs we go. Right. is there a cannon over there? I welcome you to Snow-Soaked Springs, then. The waters here are natural thermal springs extracted from subterranean veins beneath curses. We see to it that an ideal temperature for bathing is preserved by means of the finest fire crystals, procured directly from the Nirvanian highlands. Needless to say, these springs are open to one and... Chief Miss, don't leave us here alone, I beg of you. Wait, what? Quit your whining already. Wait, who's talking? Quit your whining already, you know that we can't very well stay here forever. No idea what the hell is talking. Well, if it isn't Lord Francelin, and he's, I actually gave her a totally wrong voice. I thought she was a man. Anyway. Well, if it isn't Lord Francelin and his Star Sky Builder, perhaps you could talk some sense into this fella. As you well know, we are itinerant, I hate that word, artisans plying our trade all across the realm. When we finish one task, we move on to the next. We don't mind to celebrate a job well done before heading to Limsa for our next assignment, but... I simply can't bear to see the chief here go. Why, without them, who will set me right when my hammering techniques falter? Who will scold me when I am tempted to slack off my duties? As you can see, this fellow simply refused to let us go. Would you be so kind as to have a word with him on our behalf? All good things must come to an end. You have a job to do. This need not be goodbye. You have a job to do. I know this, and yet I simply owe so much to the chief for all she has taught me. I fear that I will not be able to live up to her expectations in her absence. And yet, I suppose you're right. I must soldier on somehow. It's just as the savior of Ishgard here says, so stand up straight and quit your whinging for once. That goes for the whole lot of you. You all had and will continue to have a hand in one of the impressive rebuilding efforts this realm has ever seen. So take some damn pride in your work. The Firmament might soar to even greater heights. Aye, aye, Chief! Well, that was a rather unexpected distraction. Still, all's well that ends well, I suppose. And with that, I do believe we should be on our way. Pray accompany me to the main plaza of the Risen Sun Quarter, would you? Is there anybody with, like, intriguing dialogue in this area? I've never really gone over here, so I'm kind of curious. Usually, like, bathing areas tend to have, like, people who... It's a waterfall wing of this right in time. Usually have, like, people with interesting little remarks every now and again. That's longer than yesterday, just you watch! This is so nice. I've never gone over here. It's a very nice looking area. There's... Hey, Terrason is over there. Took a bit longer or head for the steam baths? That is the question. Of course. Hello. Oh, look who's come to visit. That's so cool. Might I join you, Koopa? Ugh. This looks... I can just feel the relaxation when I'm walking past this place. That's really nice. GG, as one might say. As you can see, this is the district's main thoroughfare, connecting the pillars above with the broom below. I often walk the streets here to speak with passerby, and see if there is aught with which I might assist them. And with that, I do believe you've seen most everything the quarter has to offer. What say you, my friend? Will live up to your expectations? If it isn't the savior of Ishgard and Lord Francel as well. Funk for you said I might find the two of you here, and thank the heavens that I have. Canon, it is good to see you. Conan, sorry. It is good to see you up and about again. Trust your wounds have healed. Indeed they have, thanks to Martial Law and his marvelous unguent. I can scarcely feel a thing. And to think that that were it not for the both of you, I never would have even given the poor man a chance. Simply had to express my gratitude in person, and yet my words seem so woefully inadequate when measured against the profundity of your deeds. Though truth be told, there is one more matter regarding which I would seek your counsel. Might you allow me to impose upon you for a bit longer? Sometimes it seems as if you are in greater demand in the firmament than I, men. Small wonder given all the things you have done for the people here. On that note, there are many administrative duties that await my attention, and I'd best be returning to them sooner rather than later. Till next time, my friends. There's even more! I hope you're looking for even more side quests. I've heard much of your boundless generosity, but never did I believe the savior of Ishgard herself would entertain my humble request. Now, allow me to explain. Before that, pray let us join you, my friends. I've no idea what else talking. Aha. Mr. Sluden, how do you fare these days? As for me, I am pleased to report that business at my provisioner's shop is positively booming of late. Truly, I owe it all to you and Lord Francel. Speaking of which, that is precisely why we had hoped to speak with you today. We were discussing how nice it would be if we were able to do something to celebrate the Firmament's restoration, and express our gratitude to Lord Francel for all he has done on our behalf. I was speaking with Frank Renaud, and he mentioned that his master was particularly fond of music, and in fact has long dreamed of establishing his own orchestra. While that may be beyond my abilities, I thought the very least we could do would be to arrange a concert of sorts to be held in his honor. To that end, we are looking to acquire the needed instruments without consulting Lord Francel. We mean for this to be a surprise, you see. My friends tell me you are among Lord Francel's closest friends and confidants. I am certain that nothing would please him more than to see your face among the performers. What do you say? Splendid, I knew we could count on you. I too have endeavored to do my own part by putting together the necessary instruments, using parts and techniques I learned from a traveling artisan in town. It's far from a full orchestra, I'm afraid, but at the very least we have a piano, woodwinds, and strings. We just set up the piano in St. Roy's dais before coming here. Fortunately, it did not seem to arouse Lord Francel's suspicion. Furthermore, I have made an effort to procure a repair of every instrument. Should the mood strike Lord Francel, I thought few things would stir the hearts of the townspeople than seeing the two of you play a duet. That said, I must confess that I am unsure as to what instruments our benefactors most favors. Might you be so kind as to inquire to Frank Renaud for me? Frank Renaud? And pray remind him not to divulge the matter to Lord Francel himself. Leave it to me. Lynn has got you covered. Many thanks, and with that I'd best return to the dais to complete our preparations. Marjorie, He'll be overseeing the final details of the concert. Should you have any questions at all about the event, she will be more than happy to enlighten you. And remember, we must spare no effort to ensure that this remains a secret. We're counting on you, my friends. Yes, I've been wanting something now, just because I'm curious. Yeah, it's 13 now. So, how long does it take for the thing? Like 11 hours still. Okay, so at like midnight. So tomorrow I'll be able to get my the title I want to get for Lynn. Maniville Man? Maniville Men? What a jolly dance. Ah, Mrs. Lynn, if it is Lord Francel you seek, I fear he has already returned to his quarters. Is there odd assistance I might offer? A concert, you say, to commemorate the completion of the restoration efforts. Lord Francel will be overjoyed, of this I have no doubt. Truly, I cannot thank you enough for your most generous sentiment. The young lord is quite adept with many instruments, as to which he most favors playing. On second thought, I have an idea. There's a person I would like you to meet. Might I ask you to wait here for just a moment? My apologies for keeping you waiting, Mr. Lynn. Mrs. Ladair, it is an honor and a pleasure both to see you again. Pray forgive me, I was unaware that you were aiding us in the restoration effort. If I had known, I would have paid my respects far sooner. My steward, Firmament, mentioned that he had heard from an attendant of House Helenort word of plans for a celebration commemorating the Firmament's restoration. I take it that you too are involved with this? I took a liberty of informing Lord Artoral of your intentions to hold a concert in Lord Francel's honor. Perhaps you are unaware, but Lord Artoral is one of the realm's foremost collectors of orchestrion rolls. Much as I had hoped, he has taken a keen interest in your idea. To tell the truth, in addition to my collection, I have been known to dabble in the art of composition myself. As a matter of fact, I have penned a duet, for the piano, inspired by the sights and sounds of the Firmament. Nothing would give me greater honor than if you and Francel were to perform it together at the festivities. A splendid idea indeed. My lord has quite a passion for piano, and I am certain he would be more than pleased to perform your piece. If my eyes did not deceive me, a stately piano already sits atop St. Roel's dais. If you have a moment or two to spare, pray consider playing a little tune or two on it to practice. Often it takes time to get accustomed to a new instrument. In the meantime, I shall ask around and see if I cannot find a few more skilled performers willing to join you up on stage. Marvelous. In that case, I shall return home and prepare a transcription of the score at once. I must confess, just the thought of hearing the sweet sound of music ringing out across the firmament has me feeling as giddy as a schoolboy. It will be all I can do to stop myself from skipping and dancing through the streets. Alright, my friends. However, that's going to be it. I hope you enjoyed this episode of I was playing Final Fantasy XIV. And next episode, we are going to go and continue doing more of these side quests in the Firmament. Goodbye.